Hey there, this is Therese Skelly, and I am so excited that you are going to be listening to an episode of the Fiercely Brilliant podcast. Do you like those two words? Fiercely Brilliant. My hypothesis is that you are here for a reason. We all are. Our souls have led us on journeys that have very often taken some twists and turns, and sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes there's struggle and there's loss and there's challenge, and in the middle of that, there's always a way out. And it's those times that often lead us into our great life and work. So you're going to hear stories in these episodes of myself and other beautiful people that share the journey. They share how they got to the place where they're standing, working in their brilliance, and being the powerful leaders that they are. So stay tuned and enjoy this episode. Hey, this is Therese Skelly, and you are here for another episode of the Fiercely Brilliant podcast. You know, this is the place where I show you how to live and to work into your brilliance, because at the end of your life, there's going to be nothing more magical than to be able to reflect on it and say, oh yeah, I did it. I did it. So I share my own wisdom, and then I'm blessed to bring in other guests, other teachers that have amazing stories that, in my estimation, are leaders in terms of how to just live your fierce brilliance. And today, oh, gang, you're going to be in for a treat. So I am delighted to introduce you to Jack and Tiff Walker. We met like a decade ago at some events, and we have been following each other for years. And when I thought about who do I want to bring on this show, ding, 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 these two are fucking cool, and they have an amazing story. And so I can't wait to have you meet Jack and Tiff Walker. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're so happy to be here.
Well,
what an opportunity.
Yeah, and it's been fun to kind of talk, like, back.
I know.
Facebook
so
Messenger. Fun. That's been great. So I always like to start by saying, what do you do in business? And more importantly, what do you love about it? Why don't you share with us?
That is so easy to talk about. Our favorite thing to do, and I'll speak for myself, I'm a mindset coach and a clinical hypnotherapist. And my favorite thing to do in the world, and Tiff, she'll tell you about herself, is working with highly sensitive, empathic people and helping them get fast, measurable relief, because we need the empaths on this planet to rise up. Today is the day that they rise up, that I'm sure you're a highly sensitive. I know you are, Teresa. Anyone listening probably is as well. And helping you get relief so you can align with your true self, because once you're aligned with your true self, you're unstoppable. And
as you speak, I'm just getting goosebumps. So I think it's going to be a good episode. No, because it's true. It's true. It's very hard to be a highly sensitive empath. It's hard. And you feel like a crazy person. And so I love that y'all are talking about it and giving support and giving guidance so we can use our gifts without being battered or shut down or feeling like something's wrong with us. Tiff, do you want to share?
Exactly.
Yes, I am a spiritual teacher and healer. I spend my life talking and teaching empaths how to set boundaries and come into their spiritual gifts and use them to bring joy to themselves and others, and to heal inward. So many empaths are wounded deeply, and we spend our whole life working with them. And I love it because empaths are so willing to do their inner work. It's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
It's the best thing ever. And they're so kind and compassionate, and they're just the most delightful people to work with. And being a full-blown empath myself, it took me so many years to be able to live my best life, because there were so many things happening inside me as an empath. Like you said, it just can be like crazy town. So that's just a little snippet of what we do, but we just love it so much.
And we came together. Tiff and I have a really unique experience. Here we are with you, Therese, and on your show. And everything we've done has been together. Our business, we started Thought Tracks Coaching and Healing Incorporated, 12 years ago. And we did everything then together. And our story, as we move in and talk a little bit more about our story in this last year, our business, when we came together, we did all of our coaching together too. So we coach clients. And so we were coached. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, we were team coaching.
Everything we did was together. I worked with the mindset piece. Tiff went after the spiritual angle and was able to read energy and open up with questions. And this last year changed everything for us in a really big and really beautiful way. And where we are today, we coach empaths all over the world. And we have Empath Rise and Thrive is our coaching and spiritual healing program. It's a group coaching program, and it is our delight. And then we both individually see clients separately.
We don't do team coaching anymore unless we're doing things online. And it was quite a shift for us.
It was.
Wow. Let's jump into your story. Well, first of all, hold on. I'm being guided. Do we need to just give a definition what an empath? I think everybody should know the word empath, but just for people that are like, I've heard that word, I've heard highly sensitive, like, let's just define that just a little bit. So there's a context for what we're talking about.
So an empath is a person that is a highly sensitive person. And it's been proven in the last 20 years that their brains, on a brain scan, they actually work differently. So their mirror neurons of their brain are more active than 80% of the world. So it just means that they experience everything deeper, vaster, more they feel things, and they also absorb energy into their muscles, tissues, and organs. So you feel people's feelings, you feel energy around you, and it's so important to learn to manage your energy, or you typically will end up sick in bed.
Right. Oh, yeah. Dang.
And then it's kind of a spectrum. So highly sensitive empath is the all the way to this end, and highly sensitive. All empaths are highly sensitive, but not all highly sensitive people are empaths.
Right.
Like Tiff just explained, an empath actually is absorbing that energy into their body, where a highly sensitive person is sensing it. I'm highly sensitive. Tiff is a full-blown empath. Yeah.
Whew. I was married to a man, adored him, very nice man, but being the highly sensitive empath, he would say to me like, you and your special needs, because I'm like, oh, the light's too bright. Oh, air's on me. Oh, there's cigarette smoke. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I can't watch that show. And so there's a lot of abuse. There's a lot of messaging for empaths that like, God, can't you just get over it? God, it's like, it already happened. Let it go. And so when you get people aligned, and we're going to move into your story because it's a fabulous story, but I think this is, maybe you should come back on and talk about just empaths. That would be a whole other topic.
Absolutely.
But like, what's the let's paint the before and after picture, right? So an empath that either doesn't know or doesn't have good boundaries or doesn't have a sense of this is who I am and y'all fuck off.
Right.
And I'm being particularly sassy today because it's you too, and I adore you. Listen to the mouth. So there's the before is the person that you're right. So tell us the before, and then tell us like after they work with you or after they get themselves solid or fiercely brilliant, as I would say.
Sure.
After. So let's just do a really quick compare contrast so people understand physically like, whoa, that's what it can look like.
Okay. Can I start with the before?
Sure.
Okay. So the before is you feel totally overwhelmed. You doubt yourself. You don't trust your intuition. You feel like you're crazy. You feel like you're too much. You feel like you're irrational. You feel wrong. You feel like you're on the outside. You feel like you're broken. You feel like you're fucked in the head and you don't know what to do about it. Your nervous system is fried and you just feel like you want to hide.
Yeah, you're totally drained.
It's a really rough existence. Really, really rough. And there's not a lot of conversation around this.
Right.
And it's time.
Like, I jack up and you just I was like, before. I think he's heard that before. But when I work with women's groups, I raise the hands and say, how many of you in the room have been told you're too much? And every freaking woman has been given that message. It's just horrible. Okay, so that was the before. So if you're listening, I want you to go like, wait, what? Like, and I know Jack like rapid fired it.
Replay 30 seconds back.
But if you identify, I want you to know there's freaking hope, right? Because it's kind of like a hit. There's like so many gifts. It's freaking magical. I tell my boyfriend now, I'm like, this is a freaking Stradivarius. Okay. We don't.
That's right. That's right.
It takes special care and handling if you have a Stradivarius. But it took me years to get to honoring like, these are awesome gifts. There's a lot of maintenance and care. And so Tiff, talk about how does it look at the end Because when you own it, oof.
Wow. You know, being an empath is a gift. And for many empaths, when they get to us, they're like, it's a total curse. And we introduce to them the gifts, it's like a superpower that you have. So after you learn how to manage your energy and how to shield and how to put self-care first so that you actually have energy, you begin to have more energy and feel better. You feel happier. You start to attract people in your life that also love you instead of you give. And you start having new opportunities come in. You make more money. You feel happier about life. You get out and you start using your gifts to help heal others and bring joy to yourself. It is the empowered empath is the most amazing life. And that's what it looks like after you understand what an empath actually means and how to manage your energy and live that life where you're actually seeing the superpower that's within you instead of, oh, this is such a drain and such a curse.
Right. And also, you know how to manage your energy every day, because it's not like just because you learn how to manage your energy today that you're done.
Right.
Same thing with mindset, right? It's not like mindset happens once.
It's a daily thing.
It's something, but once you have the simplest tools so that you're not looking for the magic bullet anymore, and you can just settle into yourself and go about your business of what feels aligned to you, then you're in the sweet spot.
Yeah. And can I add one more quick thing?
Sure.
You know, empaths, we have so much love and compassion for others, and we just want such deep connection.
Yes.
So we try to live like 80% of the world, but guess what? It's not really possible. We have to do things differently because we are gifted people. And so once you understand that and you stop trying to be what everyone is telling you you should be, then you can rest into yourself and recognize the power that's within.
I love that.
Amen.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're just hanging up. I got my fill today. So no, but you know, Tiff, like how you said, your brain is literally wired differently.
100%.
You're not some sensitive wackadoo. Like you literally are wired differently.
No, you're
so
special.
I always follow guidance, and guidance is like, ask them what it means. You know, so I'm really
glad that you did.
took the time, because this is like, and you might have to come back and we'll do another whole episode on this one. So,
that'd be
all
fun.
right. So you have had a crazy freaking COVID journey. So we're filming this in May of 2021. And so tell us because it's relevant, right? Like you talked about, we did everything as a team, and Tiff, why don't you start? Like, what the heck happened? And
God. The very first thing that pops up for me is, you know, we've been so busy working with our empaths. We had started all of our online stuff because we couldn't keep, we just wanted to go further, and we were so limited by our one-on-one time. And I remember a video right when we realized the world was in a pandemic, and we got on a video, and I was really making light of the fear, not light of people, but I was like, don't be afraid of COVID, keep living your life. I was quite cavalier. And I didn't really know what the hell I was talking about. Not that we should buy into fear and hide away, but I just wasn't being as thoughtful as I would be now. Shortly after that, I would say about 3 weeks, I got COVID, and right when it got here to Utah.
Wow.
And it was the most harrowing, scary experience I think I had ever had. And I have asthma, so it's a lung thing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't breathe all the way down. And I am a very deep breather because I've been a singer my whole life. And I also take deep breaths as an empath. So I was only able to breathe about halfway down, and it scared the shit out of me.
Absolutely.
I just was like, what is happening? And I ended up in the ER a few times, and the doctor said, you need to be taking your asthma inhaler every 4 hours. So I was taking my asthma inhaler every 4 hours, but my lungs were getting worse and worse and worse. I wasn't sleeping. And then I began to have some of the really intense symptoms from COVID. Do you want to share about those?
So basically, I think a really easy way to sum up what that experience was like, we had the paramedics at our house twice, and we were in the ER she was in the ER alone 3 times. You saw probably 15 doctors. I mean, it was hell. It was terrifically scary. It was literally wondering what was happening, if she was going to live, if she's going to make it, letting her go into the hospital by herself. And I'm sure you're feeling my energy because I know you're super sensitive. So all of you are feeling my energy. I'm okay now. We're okay. But it was very, very scary, very scary. But that wasn't even the worst of it. It was what happened after that, when she was having panic attacks that would not end. And we were 7 days, like days and days and days of zero sleep, 7 days of constant panic attacks, anxiety just pushing so hard.
Yeah. And I don't have anxiety and panic attacks. I have always been a very empowered person. So I completely lost my power in this experience, which was, please.
Let me ask you a question. What was it? Just a physiologic response? Is that why the panic attacks, or like, holy shit, I could have died? Like, what do you think was generating that?
I wasn't thinking too much. I was having a physiological body response that would last maybe 7 to 12 hours each time, where I was just shaking, and I'd never had anything like that before. And Jack was doing all this research and found out for some people that get COVID, they get some really gnarly brain symptoms. And that was me. It's almost like, I felt like, did I design this? Because I got every nasty symptom you could get from COVID, to the point where I thought I was going to die from panic attacks because I was so worn out and couldn't sleep. And the second I would fall asleep, another one would start. And we needed to get me to sleep. I couldn't eat. I developed anorexia during that time because I could not handle food.
That was a whole new experience.
I know. I was like, wow. Now I just felt like I began to understand a lot of different people in their struggle. It was crazy.
Let me ask you this. We're on the same spiritual, we co-create with the divine, creator and reality. Was there ever a moment, because I think we can get into what I call the metaphysical mindfuck. Was there ever a moment like, what's wrong with me that I can't fix this? What's wrong? How did I bring this in? Like, because I think as spiritual people, we can harm ourselves with that. So how did you reconcile that this was your situation?
I was very shocked that I got sick because I have such powerful mindset. And this is what I do for a living. And not only was I shocked, but our clients were like, how could this happen to you?
Oh my God.
So there was intense pressure there. And I'm like, I don't really know what's going on, but I had a deeply spiritual experience the day before I got sick. And it laid out an entire map of how to work through this COVID illness and my brain injury. But I didn't know that's what it was for. I just thought it was just telling me about the pandemic. So I did my writing, and I went in, a spiritual being came in. I wrote down everything I was told. I shared it with Jack the next day, and the next day I had COVID.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I leaned on that because the doctors had put me on Xanax for the panic attacks to try and get me to sleep. So I was on them for 8 days, and I was able to sleep, not breathe really great, but I was able to sleep. But on the 8th day, I had another violent panic attack, even on the medication. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm not taking this drug. So I went off cold turkey, which they did not tell me. They did not tell me that could kill me. And I suffered an intense brain injury and annihilated my entire nervous system. And that is when the battle for my life actually began.
That's when it got really scary.
Yeah, that was when things got really bad. And so then, and I will be totally honest, I lost my mind completely. I did not know who I was. I did not know who Jack was. I did not know who my children were. I couldn't use any of my spiritual gifts. I could not feel God. I could not feel source. Nothing meant anything. I was in a dark room with sunglasses that everything had to be silent because I would have massive problems. So, and this is where Jack's life completely changed. And I thought I was dead. I just thought I was dead. So I was like, okay, this is it. I didn't know I was going to go out this way, but here I am. And I'll just hopefully there's something out there after death.
Yeah. Jack, you want to pick the story up here?
Yeah. Can you feel my heart
pounding? Oh my God.
This is when when we realized and recognized she had a brain injury, I'm doing all the research I could find. It's not good news. Everything I was finding did not look like it was good news. And I kept having hope that it would be, 2 weeks and maybe things would be okay. And we have a full client load. It's our bread and butter. I mean, this is how we live our life. This is our business. And I kept having to reschedule all of our clients because, like I said, we team coached, and Tiff was the lead coach. And I'm the one that would take them through our process at the end. We call it bag work. And it's how you clear your limiting beliefs. It's what we built our business on. So that's my part of it. Tiff was always the lead because she's the one that has the spiritual gifts so dialed in, so she can go right in energetically and start asking very opening questions to allow the client to see for themselves what they're believing about themselves that just is false, right? That I'm not enough, I'm too much, those things. So I kept rescheduling our clients, and we see clients every 2 weeks. So once we got to the second round, like we're a month in, and I'm canceling them again. And I'm like, what are we going to do? We could lose everything here. And she was not looking. And then I started to realize this was a long road. We actually found a coach, I can't remember the website anyway, a coach that helps people that are in benzo withdrawal. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so we started working with her.
Life.
She did. She's like, no, this is a very long process. This is not a 2-week deal. It's going to be a minute. So we hunkered in, and it was one especially dark night that when we were sitting in that very dark room because we couldn't have any light in the house. It was too overloading and overwhelming. And I just was praying mightily. I didn't know what else to do but to pray as big as I could possibly pray. And being somebody that walked away from organized religion of my upbringing because it didn't accept me as a person, which, I'm not going to talk about my whole story today, but I just started praying to God or source or universe in a new way, and had the most distinct impression to start talking to my angels. That's not something that I really did.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just started talking, and I started making decisions in my heart. And I said, I will keep our business, whatever it takes. I will take on all of our clients myself, which was the scariest thought of my life.
Interesting? It was God. Were you hiding behind this woman, perhaps?
Yes. What? Oh my God. So huge because she's so amazing and incredible. It's very easy to hide because she's just magnificent. And it was my day that I got called up. It's like do or die. Either you're going to step into your power or you're not. And if you want to keep your business, then you're going to have to do it. And so I started connecting to all of our clients and said, hey, I'm going to take all the coaching on myself. Our clients were just angels themselves. They're like, we're in, let's do this. And I started coaching alone.
I just have to interject something. About 3 weeks before I got sick, Jack and I were just talking. We had woke up in the morning, and I said, if I wasn't here, do you think you would keep going with our business?
You asked that question?
Well, he goes, oh, that's never going to happen. I'm like, no, seriously. I know that you can be this most amazing. And I know that there's enough here for you to just keep going. And he's like, well, that's never going to happen. I said, seriously, though, if I died, what would you do? What would you do?
She's prophetic too,
says,
right?
Well, let's.
And I know that about
Let's not talk about that. And I'm like, well, I just totally believe in you.
Yeah. So that was that was my moment. And I have leaned in so hard, and I love coaching by myself now. Yeah. It's like this revelation. Yeah. We can't coach together. She does all the spiritual healing, the energy clearing, connecting people to their angels. And I'm all about mindset and going after your limiting beliefs. And we're a great team. We just don't do it together
anymore.
We're in the same business, just our own sessions.
Yeah. So I work from home, and he works at the office.
Perfect. So can you give me a time frame, like from the time you got COVID to the time you kind of like your brain came back or you became more functional?
I started working again a little tiny bit after 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah, I was seeing 6 clients a day, and I started seeing 2 clients a week. And it was very taxing. but everything started to come back. But it
was so much work.
I still have symptoms still. Sometimes my breathing's not perfect. I have a lot of physical nerve issues that come in. That will all get better within the next year. But this is a 2 to 4 year recovery. And I was able to heal my mind by using my mind in about 13 months. So I'm about 90% of where I was. And I'm actually better in many ways than I've ever been.
That's
so it was a road. But there's one thing that I have not yet talked about, and I just feel super compelled to share. It was last April, not this last one, but the one before. I was sitting here at the kitchen table here in our house, and I had completely lost my mind. I didn't know who I was. He was upstairs, coaching a client in the office upstairs. And I felt like I was supposed to kill myself.
Wow.
And I sat here and I battled because I was looking at all the pictures we have on the walls and all of my kids, but I couldn't feel my kids.
You weren't connected to that?
I had something called depersonalization and derealization.
I know those
and
things.
I just felt like the only solution was to end my life while Jack was in session. And I sat here and I thought, I don't think that's right, but it just feels so right. I just feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. And I started writing a note to Jack, and I was able to withhold doing that, of course, because I'm still here, but he came downstairs and I said, how would it feel to you if I wasn't here anymore? Would you be okay? And he said, what are you talking about? Of course not. And I was trying to connect to some feelings.
Right.
And for the next 7 hours, I battled with, I cannot even tell you how close I was to ending my life because I felt like I was supposed to, because I'd lost my mind.
Yeah.
And I just remember praying and praying, and I could not feel God. I could not feel the universe. I could not feel anything but just hollow nothingness. And something saved me that night. And I got the distinct impression at 3:30 a.m. in the morning to wake Jack up and tell him what I was thinking. And I was scared to death. I didn't know how he'd respond because I didn't really know him at the time.
Right.
So I woke him up and I told him, and it wasn't a very good response, but I said, I thought I was doing a good thing by telling you. And we worked through it. And after that, things began to shift and change. But it's a miracle that I'm sitting here today. And I never thought in a million years ever I would be ever, because I have such I just have a powerful brain.
Strong mind, right.
Yeah, I didn't that day. So we overcame some huge, and like I said, I've never even shared that before. So today's the day.
Thank you. Yeah. Wow. I just want to take a breath for a minute here.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody maybe they haven't gone on an accidental benzo withdrawal and they haven't lost their mind with COVID, but they're in a dark place.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, Tiff and Jack, a lot of stories where you literally were on death's doorstep. Jack, for you, it's like you're having to face something you were convinced you were never going to do, right? A, losing your wife, and B, stepping your own damn self up and doing it, right? And so if somebody is in a place where they're ready to give up or they don't think they can go on, what would you tell them? Again, it doesn't have to be COVID, but just
I know what I would say.
What?
And so for you, the listener that is in a dark place, you have help. You feel alone, you're not alone. Call on your angels. Just start asking them to help you. And if it's only something to just give you a little flicker of hope that that's what you're asking for, you're going to feel it. That's what I would say. Just start there, no matter how dark it is. If you can find it within yourself to even choose to believe, even if you don't believe or you don't even know if you believe in angels or angelic help, just choose it. What have you got to lose at that point? Just choose to believe that there's help. There is always help. There's always help. And making a decision for what you want, even if it's as little as just, I want to feel a little bit better than I do now. That's a decision that you're making for yourself. And then heaven and earth and angels and everything works together to bring that in for you.
That's
exactly what I would have said is that there's help. And there was help for me, even though I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it, but I'm here.
Wow.
And I can honestly say, I remember how close it was. And I have so much gratitude for life and everything around me. I cannot describe to you how grateful I am that I made it through that.
I would bet. I would bet.
Yeah. There's always help.
Another thing I would say, because some people might not be connected to angels necessarily.
Sure.
I mean, you don't have to be connected. They're always there, whether you connect or not. It's like radio frequency. You just got to, dial the dial. Sometimes it's like, think of a beloved person. It could be, Oprah. It could be Mother Teresa. It could be Tiff and Jack and Therese. It's like, if you can't access it, it's like, well, what would Therese tell me right now? What would Tiff tell me? What would my mother tell me? Like somebody that loves you and takes a stand for you. If you can't access it on your own, bring in somebody else's powerful belief in you. So we're just throwing out some ideas for you here.
Absolutely.
So how has this changed you? I mean, you talk about an existential, like, holy shit, this was a big one. So Jack, you talked about you're now actually
I really love
power.
Like I'm stepping up in my power like nobody's business. I have learned things about myself that I didn't know I existed. And because my dad was killed in an accident, a farming accident when I was 11, I have a keen sense of loss. And so her almost losing Tiff just took me down to the bottom of the barrel outside of losing her and having her pass. Right. And so that all of it, I was just taken to the bottom in this situation and just found my courage, my strength deep inside that dark place. And it helps me understand, and now I can speak to it. So when our clients or our people are in a dark place, we have a podcast too. And when we're talking to our people, it's like, if you're in a dark place, like, we believe in you, you can do this. There is help for you. You are not alone, even though everything's screaming at you that you are. And so it was such an amazing journey to be on this side. And now looking back, we talk about it all the time. Yeah. This was one of the most special years of our life. And our love is at a deeper level than it's ever been. Yeah. Our connection, our teamwork is off the chart. We love and accept and understand our unique differences in such a deep way. And not only that, Tiff having her nervous system, because your GABA gets all fucked up, it's all about your brain chemicals and what's happening. And because you don't have, and then your nerves are being affected, you have to rebuild all of that. But every single thing she had to do for herself is exactly what we are teaching our empaths. And she has been able to teach at a level that nobody could, unless they have walked the road of being annihilated, having a nervous system that's completely obliterated and having to rebuild. So my God, the gift that this has been for us to bring forth to our people and to our clients and our students and all the people that we are working with is so exquisite. And it just reminds me, over and over, we're all a puzzle and we're all each an individualized expression of the divine. And without each other, we aren't complete. And we all have gifts to bring. And that's why we love working with empaths and why we do, because empaths are the healers, natural healers on this planet. Even if they don't know, even if they're not a medium and they don't know, like, I don't see spirits, that's okay. Just showing up and being alive brings a healing presence to the planet. Yeah. So it's just beautiful.
Yeah, I can honestly say at this point, I wouldn't go back and change it. I am so glad to be where I am now. It was such a scary, scary time. Yeah. But now like Jack said, we can really see that everything that we both went through, but especially physically and with my nervous system, I had to know this firsthand and heal myself in order to teach this very thing. This is the very thing that we've been teaching. Yeah. So I had to have it annihilated so I could build back, heal my mind, get my nervous system where it needs to be. And now I can speak firsthand about how to do that to empaths, because that's their whole problem anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So there was no accident in any of this. And I have so much gratitude for the experience. But like I said, I'm so glad to be on this side of it. I would never want to do that again.
Right.
But
oh, geez.
And it really has changed our life as a couple. I just have to say this because Jack took care of absolutely everything. I could do nothing. The only thing he didn't have to do was wipe my butt. And I was wondering because I barely could do that.
That was a lot of love, huh?
Yeah, I was like, well, he had to help me shower. He had to feed me. He had to care for our home, our kids, our business.
Yeah.
And we have 6 kids. We have a lot of kids.
So he is a super rock star and he loves me. I thought he was going to leave me. I'm like, you're going to leave me. There's no way you could do this.
You can't get rid of me.
I'm like,
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. So don't freaking die. I'm not leaving. Right.
Right.
Yeah. He hung in there.
I just want to point out. So in the middle of the deepest, darkest tragedy, Jack, you were able to grow. Right. Huge. And to hold the both. That's what I tell people. I really work with it's not oh no, it's all horrible. It's like, it's horrible. Oh, no. And
yeah, there's always a silver lining.
How do I step up? Where's the gift? And I love that y'all are calling this a gift. I love that you are on the other side going, I would not change a second of it. And so again, if you're listening, I pray you're never going to go through COVID like this, and don't ever get off Xanax quickly like that.
No.
Never go off cold turkey.
With that
deadly.
Never.
Right.
Yeah.
But the message for today is, whatever you're going through, there's help, there's hope, there's support. You're not alone. And if you do the work, see, that's the caveat, right? If you do the work, there's magic on the other side. You can be transformed on the other side.
100%.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this has been one of my favorite episodes. I want to keep talking, but eventually we do need to wrap this up. So is there any just go to your heart. Is there any last words, anything that needs to be said, or anything else you want to just share with my audience?
I would like to say that we have more power inside of us than we possibly can even fathom. When you get hit with certain things in life, it's when that power rises up. Yeah. And they truly are gifts. And I have to say, I now know who I am because of this experience, and whatever anyone else is going through, it's bringing you to your best and highest self. And just hang in there, because that power will carry you to a place that you can't even imagine. It will be so brilliant.
Okay, I want everybody just to breathe that in. It's like, just literally, you have more power in you than you know. Yes. Let's breathe that in. And Jack, what's your last words here?
I just know that making a decision, just choosing, like, even if you're at the bottom of your barrel, just choose to rise up, even if you don't have a fucking clue how. Your job isn't to figure out how, it's just to choose, just make a decision. And that's where it all really turned around for me, was when I just made that clear gut decision, like, I am choosing to hold on and to build our coaching practice. I'm not going to let it go. And it changed. That's when everything flipped and the light started filtering into me, and it just got stronger and stronger. There were still some really hard times, but it was very clear. So just make a decision about what you want. Just get clear on how, even if it's just how you want to feel today. Just break it down to that smallest piece. Yeah.
Well, I'm such a fan. I'm totally crushing on you both here today in this moment. Thanks for being real. Like, and
well, thank you for giving us a place to
Of course. And Jack's coming back we've got another episode scheduled with Jack that you're gonna love that story. So, oh my God. And Tiff, if you want to come back and talk empaths, y'all just come out to Scottsdale, hang out with me.
I know, we'd love to.
Anyway, so if folks want to follow you, because you should follow these people. They're amazing. If folks want to follow you, where do they follow you? Where do they find you? What do you have?
Well, the first place I would start, our website is tiffandjack.com, tiffandjack.com. But the fastest place, if you feel like you're an empath and you're looking for support, come to our free Facebook group. It's called The Connected Empath. And Teresa, I'm sure you'll pop it in your show notes.
Yep, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Yeah, find us there at The Connected Empath. We have so much support for you to wrap you up and get you nurtured so that you can start really rising up in your true expression and aligning with your sensitive self.
Beautiful. Whew, what a good episode. This is going to be a fan favorite. So if you relate, reach out to Tiff and Jack. Reach out to Tiff and Jack. If you need support, reach out and just know you're not alone. We got you. We got you. There's lots of hope. All right. Peace and blessings, everybody. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Teresa, and I'm so excited that you were with us today for another episode of the Fiercely Brilliant podcast. You know, if you are inspired to get to that brilliant place, if you heard some wisdom today that made you think, yeah, I need some help in that area, I would encourage you to have a conversation with me. Super simple. You just go to treeskelly.com/let's connect. It's a no charge, no pressure conversation. And if I can support you to clear the blocks, to really step into that brilliance, oh my gosh, it would be a delight. And I'll be honest with you, we'll just have a great conversation and see where we can take it. Peace and blessings. Bye.